Here.
Are you going to vote?
Are you familiar? I'm not answering any of your questions. I'm asking you.
Well, then I'm not going to answer any of your questions either then. How's that?
That's fine. You don't have to. I cannot force you to answer questions.
Don't harass these people.
I'm not
is what I'm
harassing.
telling
I'm
you.
asking them questions.
They don't want to be asked any questions.
They don't have to answer, just like you said.
You can just move along. You don't need to stand here, okay?
Are you ordering me to leave?
Not yet. But I'm telling.
Are you going to order me to leave if I'm asking them questions you don't want to answer?
No, I'm telling you to stop badgering these people.
I'm not badgering them. I'm asking them questions. They don't have to answer.
Stop.
So you're telling me I cannot ask people in public a question?
Yes.
Is Chief Finkelstein around? I'd like to talk to him.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Can you call him?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to call him.
Why not?
You can call him.
I have a complaint under Public Act 14-166. You know that
Go
rule.
make it. Go make it then.
You have to get somebody here.
Go make their complaint.
I want to. Bring your supervisor over here so I can file a complaint.
I am the supervisor. Okay?
No, you're supervisor. You're a sergeant.
No, that's right.
You got plenty of lieutenants. You have Lieutenant Masak. You have Chief Finkelstein. Bring one of those over here.
All right.
Yep, you know where it is?
Are you going to call him, or are you going to defy?
No, I'm not calling
Or are you
anybody.
going to defy Public Act 14-166?
I'm not calling anybody.
So you're defying the law.
You asking me questions now?
Well,
I can't ask you
I'm
questions.
asking you if you're going to bring a supervisor over.
No, I'm just going to
14-166
I'm just going to stand
mandate.
here and banter with you so you don't bother these people. How about that?
Mr. Godbout claims that the officer is violating Public Act 14-166 by failing to call his supervisor to the scene so he can file a complaint. Public Act 14-166 is a piece of Connecticut legislation that required the State Police Officer Standards and Training Council to develop and implement a written policy concerning the acceptance and investigation of complaints from members of the public relating to alleged law enforcement misconduct by July 1st, 2015. After the policy was developed, each local law enforcement agency was required to either adopt the policy implemented by the council or develop and implement an alternative policy that exceeded the standards of the council's policy. The Police Officer Standards and Training Council Uniform Complaint Policy, which was adopted by the East Lyme Police Department, states that, quote, employees have a duty to assist any person who wishes to file a citizen's complaint by documenting the information and allegations they provide, advising the individual how to proceed, and by promptly putting the complainant in contact with a supervisor who can assist them with filing their complaint. No employee shall refuse to assist any person who wishes to file a citizen complaint, or discourage, interfere with, hinder, delay, or obstruct a person from making a citizen complaint. The policy also requires that, quote, all employees will assist those who express a desire to lodge complaints against any member of the agency. This includes calling a supervisor to the scene to conduct a preliminary inquiry and document the complaint. Additionally, the policy goes on to state that, now quoting again, all personnel who are approached by a person seeking to make a complaint will, when possible, call a supervisor, obtain a brief description of the allegation, record contact information from the complainant if provided, and obtain a complaint control number which should be provided to the complainant. If a supervisor is not readily available, the officer will inform the complainant that they will be contacted by a supervisor or the person or unit assigned to conduct internal affairs investigations by the next business day. Finally, the policy mandates that, quote, complaints from the field in which any member of the agency is approached by a complainant expressing allegations of misconduct or malfeasance shall immediately be reported to a supervisor. The complainant shall be requested to await the arrival of the supervisor. Accordingly, Mr. Godbout appears to be correct in his assertion that the officer did not comply with the complaint policy requirements, not only by refusing to call a supervisor, but also by failing to provide additional types of assistance in filing a complaint required by the policy.
Now you're trying. See, you can't do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's not going to work.
Okay. It's worked so far. Because here you are, standing in front of me.
I think I'm going to be running into a criminal issue here.
Okay, you could be.
Under 53A-96, are you familiar with that statute? Unlawful restraint?
Yeah.
You're familiar with that?
Yeah. Who are you going to unlawfully restrain?
Well, we'll find out. You ready?
Yeah.
You want to come with me?
You're going to unlawfully restrain someone? All right.
Hello. Who are you guys with?
Don't answer him. Don't answer him. Don't answer him. Seriously.
Popcorn and fried dough. It's the class of 2025.
Don't answer him.
Local high
most school students.
Seriously.
Is this part of the Parent Teacher Association?
In a nutshell, yeah.
It is, all right. That's fine.
Sir, what street do you live on?
I'm not going with you. You can go vote.
You're unlawfully refusing to allow me to vote.
Okay.
Are you going to, Russell?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not.
Why?
Are you asking me questions?
I'm asking you to do
I'm
your
not.
duty.
I'm not gonna. Not answering your questions. How about
Because
that?
here it is, 54-33B. You're familiar with that, right?
Good for you.
A law enforcement official may ask a person if she or he may conduct a search of their person, provided such law enforcement official has reasonable and articulable suspicion that weapons, contraband, or other evidence of a crime is contained upon that person. They didn't make any claim there. They are a law enforcement official under their authority under Section 9-230. So they cannot ask me for an ID to be able to vote. Therefore, they are under 53A-96 unlawfully restraining me because I can't go in there and vote.
You are more than welcome to come in and vote.
Mr. Godbout contends that he cannot be required to show his identification in order to vote, and that the poll workers unlawfully restrained him in violation of Section 53A-96 of the Connecticut General Statutes by preventing him from voting. We will discuss voter identification laws later in this episode, and it should be noted that the poll workers did not actually prevent Mr. Godbout from voting. Additionally, it is highly unlikely that a court would conclude that restricting Mr. Godbout from voting constituted a violation of Section 53A-96 of the Connecticut General Statutes, which simply states that, quote, a person is guilty of unlawful restraint in the second degree when he restrains another person. Section 53A-91 of the Connecticut General Statutes sheds a bit more light on the meaning of unlawful restraint, defining the term restrain as meaning, quote, to restrict a person's movements intentionally and unlawfully in such a manner as to interfere substantially with his liberty by moving him from one place to another, or by confining him either in the place where the restriction commences or in a place to which he has been moved without consent. Well, even if a poll worker were to deny entry to a voter, the act of refusing entry does not involve physically moving the voter or confining them to a certain area, as required by the statute. Additionally, the statute only prohibits restrictions on movement that are unlawful, and, as we will discuss more thoroughly later in this episode, poll workers are authorized to confirm identifications and ensure that voters comply with the legal requirements before voting. As such, a court would almost certainly disagree with Mr. Godbout's argument that he was being unlawfully restrained.
She demanded an ID.
She asked you for an ID and she walked
a search.
away. You walked away when she told you to go see the assistant registrars.
No, she didn't tell me that.
Yes, she did.
No, she
Everyone
didn't.
heard her, but you have to walk in. So if you'd like to come and see the assistant registrars, they would be more than happy
Why
to
would
help
I need to see an assistant registrar?
you. Because you need to get a ballot to vote.
That's restraining my vote. Should be able to just get a ballot and vote. Why is she asking for
You
ID?
can go see the assistant registrar and they will help you get a ballot so you can vote.
Because this is the law.
I'm going to keep telling you the exact same answer. You can go see the
That's
assistant
not the answer.
registrars and you can get a ballot.
Why are they asking people for their ID?
I am telling you what you can do to vote
See,
today.
this gentleman says that if the person doesn't want to answer your question, then I should leave, right? Well, you won't say if you don't answer the
I am
question.
telling you how you can
Well,
vote
tell
today.
me.
Well,
Tell me
then, that's
why.
the only thing I can tell you
Tell me
today.
on what basis are you asking people for their ID so that they can vote?
I am telling you, if you would like to vote today, you can go see the assistant registrar and they will help you get there
I'd like
today.
to vote in the next election and the election after that without being searched.
No one is searching you.
Do you
Have
want
I
to-
searched you?
Yes, you are. You're asking me for my ID. This gentleman knows that that is a search under the Fourth Amendment. It's a search anytime. He can't walk up to people and ask for ID willy-nilly. You can't do that. For the same reason he can't.
I'm asking you.
Mr. Godbout argues that the identification requirement constitutes an illegal search under the Fourth Amendment. It should be noted that the Supreme Court held in the 1984 case of INS versus Delgado that an officer's request for identification does not always implicate the Fourth Amendment, stating that, now quoting, interrogation relating to one's identity or a request for